There's no change in you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is May the 13th, 2024, and today's topic is Change is Inevitable. Happy Monday, everybody. Yes, happy Monday. I hope you guys had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was great, actually. I will tell you guys all about that in my quick recap, but I want to acknowledge why your girl went on and sung the little piece of the song that's after the intro. I feel like, with this conversation being about change, it seemed like it was hand in hand. And so I figured, why don't I go ahead and sing that little verse? So that's why I did that. But anywho, this weekend, man, what did my Mother's Day weekend look like? Well, I think some of you guys may have already gotten a little bit of a sneak peek, at least on Saturday. You know that your girl went live from the park because we took NJ to soccer as a family. So that was sweet. It was a sweet family moment, even though majority of the time I was recording and talking to y'all. Um, but the fact that we all was there and present um, was a beautiful, beautiful moment. I guess this is the stuff I think about when I think about like family, right? And I think about um, I guess the type of mom, parents, and things like that that I want to be and for us to be. So shout out to my husband, man. Well, whatever reason he decided to go ahead and push through and come with us Saturday, I truly, truly appreciate it because, it's just a beautiful thing, man. I can't sit here and try to act like it's not a great thing when we're all together. And then to all be together doing something, of significance, right? Just spending that quality time. Like there was just so many amazing moments on Saturday from us going there and of course watching NJ play soccer and being there with the other couples with their kids and things like that. But then we had a nice breakfast afterwards, and so that was cool. And then afterwards, man, NJ initiated a little bit of a I Spy game, so we was playing that on the way home, and it's just those are the priceless little things that you just can't, um, they'll just be hopefully fun memories for everybody throughout the rest of our life, and so that's the highlight of Saturday. By the time I came on back home and things of that nature, we all had a chance to woosah, do our own things. Um, and that was Saturday, man. It was a cool, I guess, lazy Saturday, but not really because we were active, and interactive and things of that nature. And then we came on back home and woosah. And so then yesterday, Sunday, right? So y'all know Sunday I am working slash at the church, right? Y'all know that's what your girl do now. And so, it was no different in regards to that. But I once again have to give a shout out to my husband because he joined us yesterday as well. And when I say he joined us for the full shebang. So, again, if y'all don't know, with me being the elementary coordinator at the church, not only do I have to be there before everybody else, you know what I mean? Like, not like everybody, because there's other people that are there too, that mostly like hope team people or people that are there to, make sure everything is going and flowing. I would say it like that. And so I'm a part of that, right? And so I'm there early. I'm there for all three gatherings. And then I'm shutting things down afterwards. So he was there when I say the whole shebang, he was there for the whole shebang. Um, and with it being Mother's Day and stuff like that, there were more kids. At least I noticed in the first gathering, there was way more kids than usual for that particular time because we usually see a lot of kids in the second gathering and the third too. But I feel like the first gathering has been growing, and so there was quite a good amount of kids in the first gathering. And my husband was there doing the production, and whatnot. And so that was awesome as well. I'm gonna have to probably put his name on our list or whatever the case may be, because it's a blessing that when he is there, that he was doing that. And then me and him had a chance to go sit in the third gathering for us to get a word. And I ain't gonna lie, man, the word that I received, I have a few more questions. I wanted to go deeper into some other aspects about being a mom and a godly mom and things of that nature. Um, but I was feeling like I was getting, I guess, motivated and equipped for this role, right? I know I called it the matriarch of my family. I call us the old Happy Says crew. Um, as the mother, right, in this family. I get everything that Pastor Mo was sharing with us about, what that entails, and the prayer that you have over your family, and the responsibility and all of these different things. And so, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like I was getting like a little, spiritual equipment, so I can be able to, do my role well and things of that nature. And so, you know, um, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for each and everything. If I continue to highlights of yesterday, I mean, afterwards, we enjoyed a nice hibachi dinner, and so that was nice as well. Because it's been a while since we took NJ to a hibachi, and so I don't know, I didn't know if he remembered the last time we went, because he was a little bit younger, and so um, so this time, obviously, with him being the age he was able to interact more with the cook and things like that, and so and of course he's gonna be him, so he's always inquisitive and asking questions and talking to people and things like that. And so it was nice. It was nice to have a nice dinner. It was nice to have all the quality time with my family this weekend. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man, me and my husband had some conversations and whatnot afterwards, because it was like, honestly, for me, I'm like, again, this is what I picture our family to be, right? And so um not to be like taking away from the specialness of what this weekend was, but I feel like the things that happened this weekend, or at least majority of it, can be our regular life and experience, versus like feeling like, oh, this is something only just for a treat, or only just for every now and then. So I'm praying, man, y'all, that pray to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And if you care about me with X, Y, and Z, I hope that you guys are praying for my, growth and maturity, um, and for my family, and things of that nature. Positive things. If not, keep your negative things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue to fight on behalf of my family and whatnot, as the matriarch and whatnot, to you know go forth in whatever the Lord wants to do with us, for us, and through us. So, with that being said, I think that's a good way to go ahead and, pivot to this conversation of change is inevitable. Because as much as I'm on here talking to y'all, what I'm saying, about purpose, and telling y'all that, hey, man, change, I'm telling you guys all the time, change is inevitable. But I am noticing that your girl, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, that I have been struggling with some aspects of change in my own life, right? And so, obviously for a reason, because I'm with me sitting here sharing it. I mean, again, who knows what the Lord is going to do, with this testimony, and with what He's doing through me, right? But here I am to do my part and just share my testimony, share what I'm going through, and again, share the ups and downs of what it's like on this Christian walk. And it's not easy. Again, as beautiful of a weekend as I had, it was an amazing weekend. Um, but there's still things, right, in me that I'm struggling with, right? There's still things that I'm like questioning. There's still things, even though I know that that change is inevitable, right? I am still struggling with change, right? Now I get it. I think I've established it before, but let's go ahead and put it on the table again. That one of the things I guess I would say that I'm kind of struggling with is this concept of understanding that, okay, I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I am unique. I am all the things that God has created me to be. And those things are not bad, right? But at the same time, according to the word and my understanding, it's seeming as if I need to forsake all of that, right? Uniqueness, specialness, whatever I want to say and feel about myself, right? I gotta forsake that to become more like Christ, right? In every aspect of my life. Now, maybe in some aspects it's easier than other aspects, right? And I think everybody probably encounters that at some point. Um, but the more I'm encountering it with my situations and whatnot, the more I am choosing, right, to humble myself and to again allow myself, I guess, to quote unquote die, right, to self daily, as the words say, right, and then becoming more like Christ, and letting Christ live and things like that. And so it's been hard because there's things that you just don't want to change, right? There's things that you just don't want to give up and stuff like that. But I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man, I've been kind of praying about different things over the years, and I'm like, hey, Lord, well, hey, if you don't want me to do this and be like this or whatever the case may be, take it away. Fine, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's no purpose for me to, be this way or that way, then by all means remove it, right? And then you say these things, and then years later, you start to feel the things shifting and moving and being removed, and you start like kicking and screaming, right? At least that's what it seems like is happening to me on the inside. Now, on one hand, again, I feel like I'm definitely at much more peace now because I'm able to sit here and talk about it, right? Because when you are in the thick of like the mental battle, then it's hard, man. It's like, Lord, look, I just don't want to even feel nothing, or I just want to feel good. You know what I'm saying? And it was interesting because me and my husband had a conversation. It wasn't, well, we had several conversations over the weekend, but I think the conversation I'm getting ready to tell you guys about what happened on like Saturday night. So anyway, we were talking, and we ended up kind of talking about depression and things of that nature. And he was giving his perspective about how he felt about why people do what they do, and things like that, or maybe even why he has done things that he's done, and whatnot. And I was asking him, and again, no judgment, you know what I'm saying? I understand that we're all different and handle things in a different way. But I did ask the question, like, okay, but as believers, why is it that we struggle with going to God first or giving those things to the Lord versus trying to handle those things on our own? And then next thing we know, we succumb to whatever it is. And so we were having that conversation and everything, and it got deep and stuff, and which I mean, I guess our conversations tend to do, but and it's good because again, I guess look, iron is sharpening iron, and there's wisdom, right, and things of that nature. But I guess I'm just sharing all those things to just let you guys know that, again, I say it here all the time, but just to reiterate, your girl's not perfect. Your girl is human out here. I try to share with you guys the ups and the downs of believing the way I do in regards to choosing to believe in the Bible and things like that. I mean, it's not the easiest thing because it's like when you get faced with the challenge of, okay, now are you going to believe what I said, or are you going to go your own way? Then you're like, you constantly are supposed to be choosing Christ, right? And again, that's not the easiest thing to do when you want what you want, right? So anyway, let's talk about change, right? Change is inevitable, I was reminded of this morning. And yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this word change. So I felt led to write down majority of the definitions of the word change this morning. And this is what it says: make someone or something different, alter or modify. This is what the Lord is trying to do with each and every one of us, right? He's making us different and is altering and modifying us. Here's the second definition. It says replace something with something else, especially something of the same kind that is newer or better. That really stood out to me this morning as well. That again, when you come to Christ, you say, okay, Lord, lead and guide me in my life and make me more like you, then all those things that aren't like him are gonna start falling off, right? And that's the thing. Like, you may like whatever it is, man, and it might not be the best feeling all the time because you're like, well, I didn't know we was gonna get rid of this too and that too and everything like that. But I guess I would just want to remind us, according to this definition, that you know, what you're becoming is newer and better. And so, yeah, I mean, I get in any other aspect, we like the new and better thing, right? Except us. Like if you're telling me that I gotta become new and better, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Like, ain't nothing wrong with me the way I am, right? But is it? Is there something wrong with you the way you are? And I'm saying this to myself, no judgment on whatever you got going on. I'm asking myself, is there something wrong with the way you are now? I've humbled myself to ask these questions. That's probably the reason why you girls in therapy now. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm like, let me just make sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just, do something different, right? Let me just go forward and address these things head on. And so, obviously, again, the more I'm doing this, the more that's being revealed. And yes, I'm learning and growing. But then again, sometimes the growth hurts, right? Like they say, growing pains, right? Let's keep going. The last definition that I felt led to write down in regards to change says substitute one thing for another. So let me make sure. Let me see. The act of, no, excuse me, the act or instance of making or becoming different. So, mm, mm, mm. Substituting one thing for another. So again, substituting miracle, right? Old miracle, for Christ, which is newer and better, right? So yeah, let me go ahead and share with you guys what I came across when I looked up the definition of inevitable. So it says certain to happen, unavoidable. So if we're going to say that change, becoming different, becoming new, becoming better, all these different things, if we're going to say that they're inevitable, which is again, unavoidable, it's going to happen, um, then I guess it's up to us to choose what change is going to happen. Now, is it going to be the change that gets you again to be more like Christ so you can be better, new, right? Or is it going to be the change that leads to death? I mean, it seems like again like a no-brainer when you think about those options, right? But I don't think we think about those options. I think that we think there's some gray area, or we think that maybe it's nothing at all. We just I don't know what we're thinking, but or what you're thinking, right? But hey, all of these things are on my heart and mind. So I ended up looking into the quote "change is inevitable" because I know we've all heard it before, but I'm like, where did it come from, right? So I found it, and apparently it's Benjamin Disraeli. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. But he said, "Change is inevitable. Change is constant." So again, no matter what, you're going to change, but you got to decide what that change is going to be. Now, I came across this article that had 120 uplifting quotes about change that hopefully will encourage you and inspire you in your life. The information for that is in the Go Deeper section. You guys can, obviously peruse all the verses there as well. Let those things marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Because, yeah, there were a lot of good things to think about when it comes to this conversation about change. And again, hopefully it will be encouraging and inspiring. But I'm going to share what the Bible has to say, okay? So Malachi 3:6 says, "For I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore you, O Israel, O children of Jacob, are not consumed." So, we're all familiar with that verse. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, right? And here, once again, he's saying that I do not change. So even though change is inevitable, right, in us, right, for us, God is letting us know that he's not changing at all, right? There's none of that for him. So, I mean, now maybe we don't think that's fair, but then again, we're not God, right? We are not the creator. So in that regard, so I mean, who are we, right, to question anything about what he's talking about, you know? Again, maybe we won't fully understand that until we're in his presence. But until then, I guess, again, let's get that understanding that he does not change. Speaking of that, Isaiah 40:8 says, the grass withers, the flowers fades, but the word of our God will stand forever. So again, he is not changing and his word is not changing. So what does that tell you? What does it tell me, right? Well, I guess it tells me that again, I need to get into alignment with him. So then I guess, not to say I won't have to change, but again, be more like Christ, right? He's not what his word says and what has already been in place, whatever case may be. According to this, it's giving me the understanding that none of that's changing. Um, Now, I don't know if we want to use that as a loophole to say, well, if he ain't got to change, then I ain't got to change, right? Um, um, I don't know how true that is. Like, matter of fact, I keep thinking about this quote that I came across, and I was getting ready to write it down earlier, but I didn't because I was going to just I put the whole article in the Go Deeper section. One of the quotes that I came across, I might be saying it wrong, but it pretty much was reminding me that sometimes the change isn't necessarily a change, but it's the change within that needs to be happening. Um, Now, I just jumbled it up or whatever the case may be. Y'all can go to the article and look and find the quote and find whatever is similar to what I just said. But yeah, I know that change is important, and I know that I have to do it right, and I know that again, um, I got to become more like Christ. Now, am I going to be perfect ever? No. Am I going to be Christ at the end of the day? No. Um, but I am supposed to be striving to be more like him every day. And even though, yes, I went through my cultivation period and I feel like, wow, there's a lot of amazing things that the Lord has done with me, for me, and through me, because I took that I made the decision to change back in the day, right, and grow and learn. But again, the growth and the change and whatnot does not end. That's what I'm learning, y'all. And I done said that. I know that, right? I know that within that the change and the growth and whatnot is not going to end. It's going to be a constant thing. But that doesn't make it easier. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. That does not make it easier for me. So I'm sharing that today to hope that will encourage and inspire you to understand that, hey, one, you're not alone if you're feeling the way I feel. Um, saying to yourself, man, I know, Lord, you're calling me to change. You want me to change, but it's not easy. I'm right here with you. It is not. Even just last night, like I said, as I was thinking about the things that me and my husband was talking about and things of that nature, and here I am. I'm like, okay, I need to humble myself in this area. I need to, you know, you know, not just to my husband, but to the Lord, ultimately to say, okay, Lord, I believe what you and your word is telling me. And therefore, based on the information I'm receiving, this is what I need to do, in order to move forward and become more like you. Now, does that feel good all the time? No. Do I feel like, is there going to be a point? You know what I'm saying? I don't get me wrong. I'm questioning all of that because it's hard when you feel like you are compromising, right? You are giving, you are sacrificing your wants, right? For the greater good, right? That don't always feel good to you to do that. But I believe it will be worth it. At least that's what I've found in my life thus far. It has been worth the sacrifice that I made back in the right. Um, the sacrifices to do everything that I experienced in the cultivation period, right? The sacrifices to, again, humble myself to the Lord and what He was revealing to me at that time. So again, to continue down this path to humbling myself to the Lord this time, It's easier to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's still difficult. Does that make sense? Um, so perhaps it will get easier and easier and easier again with the more I do it, right? And the consistency and things in that nature. But um, there's something about the journey. There's something to the journey. And I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired by hearing it. Let me grab you guys. I think it's maybe like two more verses that I got, y'all. So 1 John 2:6 says, whoever claims to live in him must live as Jesus did. And we know what he did. He humbled himself all the way to death. Okay. Um, he completely humbled himself to get into a human's body, or become human, however you want to look at it, and then just the whole thing. So if he got to do that, right, and sacrifice his comforts or whatever he had, right, to come and do what he did, and then be, you know, not just beaten by your own creation, but the mental and verbal abuse, the disrespect, all the stuff, right? Now, who am I not to humble myself of my little self? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in no way being, oh, well, hey, I don't know, maybe I'm being spiritually beaten. you know, um, I can see that there might be some spiritual beating happening, right now, to me. Um, but again, I mean, everything happens for a reason. So even again, the word I received yesterday at church, all these things played a part in the upbuilding, right, for whatever the battle is that I'm facing. And so I guess we're gonna see all of this, y'all. Like I'm excited to see, what the Lord's gonna do. Let me give you guys one more verse. And that's Colossians 3:10. It says, put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge in the image of its creator. That's it right there, y'all. That is the thing. So change is inevitable, friends. Um, it's going to happen. It has to happen. You and me, right? We get to decide what type of change is going to happen for us, right? We can either change and become more like Christ, or we can be changed, or we can change and deny Him and not, But so those are the choices at the end of the day. But I hope that what I've shared here is encouraging and inspiring you to go deeper about this if you haven't before, and to I guess not only just get on the journey, but then understand, I guess, again, the ups and downs of the journey. So again, you don't feel alone and you don't feel confused, right, when these things are happening to you, right? So I'm gonna leave you guys with that, man. The Bible verse of today is Matthew 7:8. It says, "For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that I don't know what this last word over here is. He that something, it shall be open. Oh, knocketh." Let me say it right this time. Y'all ready? Here it is. For everyone that oh Lord. Okay, here it is. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that I did it again. I did it again with this word. What is this? Knocketh. And he that knocketh, this shall be open. Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. As you guys can see, NJ is up and awake and all that, out here being annoyingly adorable. How did you feel about this weekend, NJ?
Good.
You feel good?
By when I was drinking my water, the cup spilled all with water on the floor.
What cup and what water are you talking about? Did that just happen?
It was the one that was at the restaurant.
Oh, at the restaurant. Okay.
It didn't fall at there, but it fell at my house.
Did it just happen?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am. Wait, no. It didn't happen.
Apparently it did. Did you clean it up?
It was on the carpet.
Did you clean it up?
It's soaking.
All right, y'all. Well, let me go be a mom, I guess, out here in these streets. Y'all have a great Monday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will.
Bye.
Bye-bye.